O farmers, pray that your summers be wet and your winters clear. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Put your shoulder to the wheel. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. If you chase two rabbits, you will lose them both. Nature herself has imprinted on the minds of all the idea of God. It is from their foes, not their friends, that cities learn the lesson of building high walls. Hath not the potter power over the clay to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Do not throw the arrow which will return against you. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. True glory consists in doing what deserves to be written, in writing what deserves to be read. Not at all similar are the race of the immortal gods and the race of men who walk upon the earth. You can't direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails. It is entirely seemly for a young man killed in battle to lie mangled by the bronze spear. In his death, all things appear fair. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You should hammer your iron when it is glowing hot. If in other sciences we should arrive at certainty without doubt and truth without error, it behooves us to place the foundations of knowledge in mathematics. If you speak the truth, have a foot in the stirrup. A multitude of rulers is not a good thing. Let there be one ruler, one king. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. To bring about the rule of righteousness in the land so that the strong should not harm the weak. Two cities have been formed by two loves, the earthly by the love of self, the heavenly by the love of God. Everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for it. For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. The wisest men follow their own direction. And them that take the sword shall perish by the sword. If music be the food of love, play on. I am the state. I cannot live without books. I have gained this by philosophy, that I do without being commanded what others do only from fear of the law. I will to my Lord be true and faithful, and love all which he loves, and shun all which he shuns. The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy. A god from the machine. One doesn't discover new lands without losing sight of the shore. A designer knows he has achieved perfection, not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. People of the same trade seldom meet together, even for merriment and diversion, but the conversation ends in a conspiracy against the public. Banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies. You can get more of what you want with a kind word and a gun, than you can with just a kind word. There is no wealth like knowledge, no poverty like ignorance. A man does not have himself killed for a halfpence a day or for a petty distinction. You must speak to the soul in order to electrify him. Any society that would give up a little liberty to gain a little security will deserve neither and lose both. What gunpowder did for war, the printing press has done for the mind. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. Compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. Chemistry means the difference between poverty and starvation and the abundant life. No free man shall be taken, imprisoned, or in any other way destroyed, except by the lawful judgment of his peers. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Corporation, noun, an ingenious device for obtaining individual profit without individual responsibility. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Political power grows out of the barrel of a gun. It has been said that democracy is the worst form of government, except all the others that have been tried. When I give food to the poor, they call me a saint. When I ask why the poor have no food, they call me a communist. Before that steam drill shall beat me down, I'll die with my hammer in my hand. You would make a ship sail against the winds and currents by lighting a bonfire under her deck? I have no time for such nonsense. To every action there is always opposed an equal reaction. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, but the one most responsive to change. I fooled you. I fooled you. I got pig iron. I got pig iron. I got all pig iron. Artillery adds dignity to what would otherwise be a vulgar brawl. People can have the Model T in any color, so long as it's black. Everything in life is somewhere else, and you get there in a car. The great masses of the people will more easily fall victim to a big lie than to a small one. We will make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn candles. For once you have tasted flight, you will walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you will long to return. Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are. The earth is the cradle of the mind, but one cannot eternally live in a cradle. As to diseases, make a habit of two things: to help, or at least to do no harm. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality of goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. If the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the Mighty One. I am become death, the shatterer of worlds. I just want to say one word to you, just one word: plastics. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Then one fine morning she puts on a New York station. You know, her life was saved by rock and roll. Never trust a computer you can't throw out a window. The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. Beep, 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 beep. There is a single light of science, and to brighten it anywhere is to brighten it everywhere. Soon it will be a sin for parents to have a child which carries the heavy burden of genetic disease. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The real problem is not whether machines think, but whether men do. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. The future will be better tomorrow.